Good evening and welcome to Effectifying Social TV, ESTV, with me, Howard Hughes, and
it's me.
Trevor Lorkings. Good evening, Trevor. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to get my cameras working out, so I'm here now. Yeah, getting all the tech working, but we're live just about.
We are live.
We are live.
Joined to us this evening, unfortunately, the third guy training, or the other social person, is at a previous engagement, and as a commitment to our viewers, we do this live on a Tuesday rather than pre-record wherever is possible. Trevor, how's your week been?
Week's been. Come on, my mouse. I got a new mouse today, and got to get it working properly. It's been a Strictly week, because I went to see Strictly Come Dancing. You know, the TV show.
Excellent.
All those celebrities dancing around the dance floor, and they have a live tour. And my wife was a sort of fanatic of the Strictly Come Dancing, so for Christmas I bought her a trip to Nottingham, of all places, to go and see Strictly live tour, 10th anniversary. So that was a good session, good 2 hours. But I always try and mix business with pleasure, so it's not all just fun and entertainment. And I've always got my eyes open, always got that awareness of life and what's going on in this world. And I don't know about you, but it struck me that everybody nowadays has one of these. You know, one of these things called a mobile phone. And it's becoming more and more apparent that they're glued to them 24/7 now. And they're glued to them 24/7, whichever age group you look at. And it seems to be a kind of shift over the last, I would say, year or maybe year or so, where the change has happened. And wherever you now go, everybody's glued to their phone. And we were out on a trip the other day on a visit, and we came back via some service stations a couple of times. And even people queuing up to get a cup of coffee are on their phone. They sit down and they're on their phone. You know, they're on them all the time. And it's becoming so apparent that your life is your phone, and if you're in business, your business is in their hands. And that's the shift, I think. That's the shift in awareness I think we're dealing with nowadays. That's the difference. I mean, I could try and research some figures, but I think in this world of social media, the figures are changing so quickly, there's not a lot of point. It's just that awareness that wherever you now go, everybody of every demographic is plugged into their phone. It's their lifeline.
And that's it. Yeah, we were having this conversation earlier. You were saying the person to your left, I think was an octogenarian. It's no longer the domain of the youth anymore, or the young people. I mean, everybody. If you want to access anybody in the world, it's via mobile. Definitely.
It's certainly the way it's going.
And it's a big change, all right, yeah. From when I was growing up, that if you had a color screen on your mobile, on your Nokia, that was the height of technology. And it's, what do you say? I mean, there's the famous story about the person who bought 200 horses before the invention of the car, just before the break of the invention of the car. And I'm sure they're of the opinion that what's going to replace a horse? You know, we've been using them for the past 2,000 years. So really, I suppose what you're saying is be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your business, be aware of your business environment, and that, of course, starts with self-awareness.
Yeah, it's also with my hat on at the moment as a web designer, and web design. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day about designing pre-web, designing software for computer screens when you had 80 columns to add 25 rows. That was the grid size of your screen. I think you used to play tennis for that ping pong game where you had the tennis game, didn't you?
Yeah.
But that was life. Now web design has gone through all the different screen resolutions. We've gone from the little monitors to big monitors to bigger monitors, and you've had to accommodate that. And I think web designers have taken a while to capture and keep up with. I've now got design for a very small screen called a mobile phone. They've started off with kind of desktop screens. Let's get your website looking smart, and then we'll just tweak it a bit and see if it sort of fits on phone. It might shrink down a bit, it might work. You know, mobile first is now what we're talking. Mobile first is with the thinking you've got to get in your head, and it's not just for techie web designers. You know, okay, yes, we need to get it right, but when you put a profile picture up on, say, your Facebook header, you may well do it on desktop. But do you check it on the mobile phone? Do you check the picture still looks right? Because it might crop sides off, might change a little bit. Every social platform is slightly different how they handle the pictures. So check it on all your platforms that you're on. If you're going to change those pictures or review them, pick up your phone, twist it one way, twist it the other way. You know, make sure it's all fitting on those devices, because that's where people are glued into your content.
And that's it. You know, we're talking not just to various personal profiles, but we're talking to business owners, business people, because, you know, people hear what they see. And if you are not looking, if you're not looking best on a mobile device, well then people they're not going to receive your message. They're going to go, this is a Mickey Mouse character. So it's very important that the information that we're giving you is implemented, not just for yourself, but for your business, as part of your business image and your business projection. And you know, the little piece that I would say normally in the coaching is be aware continuously. There has been such rapid advancement. There is more technology in a car now than is in the rocket that sent people to the moon.
Yeah.
And it's happening at such a rapid rate that you have got to be aware. And something that I learned recently and took on board is that all thinking is old. Even thinking about the future is old, because you can only think about what you have learned, which is in the past. So in order to be responsive to your environment, stop thinking.
Mm.
Stop putting that barrier up. Stop thinking and presupposing, because all thinking is old. And if you want to receive new information, well, then you've got to stop thinking. So with my coaching hat on, you respond to your environment by not thinking, but being aware.
Yeah.
By this.
Yeah. Yeah. It you know, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the Strictly Come Dancing, lights, camera, action, music, glitter, dancing, all that kind of thing. You get the gist. But when you just sort of stopped and look round the auditorium here, like it's all, you know, the dark lights, you just saw people holding their phones, you know, their iPads, their whatever, and you look round and there was dozens and dozens and dozens of people staring at their screens, recording what was ever, or live stream, whatever they were doing with it. And it's two ways of thinking about it. You think, are they actually watching what's going on? Or are they just staring at their screen, recording it or streaming it and that kind of thing? And are they missing missing the event, missing the entertainment for the sake of streaming it or recording it for later? But, you know, having said that, you can debate that as long as you like. I think it's still the case that, you know, it's more and more apparent now that so many more people are comfortable socially glued to their phone. You know, we've gone past that, oh, is it the right etiquette to have my phone out at the coffee shop, just check my emails, or just take a quick picture of my cappuccino and share it to the world? Everybody's doing it. You know, I was in the service stations and people were queuing up getting their coffee on their phone. And they didn't engage with the guy selling the coffee. It was just like, give me money, take coffee, and they're still glued to their phone, tapping away and doing whatever. It's certainly a shift.
So, yeah, what I'd say is, you know, here's the two sides of the coin. As a business person or as a business owner, use the phone less and less in order to make real connections, genuine connections.
Yeah.
However, people that you are looking to communicate with, are on those phones, are on the devices that you are looking to stay away from.
Yeah.
And speaking of genuine connections, we have a guest on this evening. Her name is Melissa Curley. Her business is called Socialbee. And what Melissa does is she hosts tea parties. And again, based on what I said, she makes sure there is no mobile device to distract you from the actual enjoyment of the situation, because psychologists have found actually that there's a disconnect. If you are looking at an event through a screen, there is actually an empathetic disconnect from the event itself.
Yeah.
So that even the memory recall by watching the video or by watching the photographs or showing photographs, there's no passion, there's no emotional connection to what you're viewing on the screen, whether it's a video or whatever, because you didn't actually consume or enjoy the event itself. Whether it is Socialbee or a picture of the mountains. If you were a tourist, and the tourists hugely now, you were saying up in Scotland, are getting off the bus, taking pictures, and not actually consuming the nature.
Yeah, totally. Not actually engaged with the process. And in my younger days, and I've had younger days quite a long time ago, visited Scotland quite a few times, climbing and walking and rambling around the hills. And the first year I went, I took photos all over the place. And I actually think the first year I went, you actually had film, and just going to let our guest arrive and pop in and sit in the sidelines for a second. And so we actually had film, and I took loads and loads and loads of pictures, but I kind of missed the story of what was happening. So latter years, I actually then didn't take a camera. I left the camera at home because I wanted to actually engage with the scenery and the atmosphere, But now it's difficult to leave your phone at home, isn't it? Because it is just glued to it, and it's got everything on there. You can live stream all around the world, or press a few buttons. You can take pictures, you can record video, you can do all of that, and it kind of makes it easy. So it is a discipline to switch it off. Don't touch it. You need to be like my dad used to. He used to have a mobile phone, and he never switched it on, so you could never phone him. He only kept it in case he needed to phone you.
In case of emergencies, yeah. So with that, we have our guest.
We do.
Melissa.
We've been having a few technical issues, so I think we've got her on audio, hopefully.
We have, yeah.
Yeah. Hi guys, how are we?
Very good, Melissa. Thank you very much for joining this evening, and welcome to ESTV, Effectifying Social TV. We were just saying earlier, we're talking about your business. So perhaps you give us a little background about what it is that you do, what Socialbee does.
It often gets mistaken for social media, actually, but I think that's just the name. Socialbee, we're a bespoke events company, really. We do specialise in mobile afternoon parties. So yeah, for special occasions and more for corporate events.
Excellent. And what's involved in your event in Socialbee?
Essentially, at its very core, tea and chat. So being social, really, in a really tangible, really present way. That's what it is at basic, really, Howard. But so it's essentially like a beautifully vintage style afternoon tea party, but instead of going out to a hotel for it or somewhere, that we would bring it to you, say, in your home or in your office. And it's just the most lovely way, I think, of gathering people around together over tea and chat and just having a lovely time.
Myself and Trevor were just talking recently. He was at a Strictly Come Dancing in Nottingham, and he said nearly to a person, regardless of age group or demographic, was on some kind of mobile device. Now, do you allow people to take Snapchats or any of that kind of stuff of the layout of your afternoon tea?
Well, I tell you, it's funny. I was very lucky that the website designer I got to do my website in 2014, she was ahead of the game and quite progressive. She knew to make it mobile responsive. And so my website's always, before I even understood what mobile responsive meant, and before I even understood about everything was going to be mobile. So I was really lucky in that sense, to be honest. But yeah, so people are definitely allowed to take photographs, and I'm not on Snapchat. It's the one social media forum that I'm just I keep on being told I should be on it, and I keep on just shying away from it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm on other stuff. I don't know. I'm on enough. I just think you can get saturated with people, can't you? Seriously.
You can, absolutely, yeah. And the other thing then is, of course, what you do is it's social. It's so there's no app for human contact.
Oh, there certainly isn't. That's definitely, and that's the appeal of it, and that's kind of the evolving appeal of it, to be honest, Howard. Like when I started off, my whole thing was, oh yeah, I'll go into people's homes and I'll bring lovely tea parties and, you know, ladies want lunch and stuff. And to be honest, if it had stayed at that, I wouldn't have a business at all. Like there isn't enough of a target market. But just things like in Ireland, other social occasions are becoming much more popular in Ireland. Say like your baby showers got very popular in 2016, and they've been popular in the States for years. But Irish people, so they ring up and they go, oh, isn't it just like another excuse to get presents? But you know, it's not though. Like it's another way of getting together and socializing and celebrating, and so kind of more of those occasions. But with the corporate stuff as well, like companies are paying much more attention now to employee wellness and well-being, and looking to kind of get people together and team bond, but in a natural way, not in a really forced environment of like, come, let's bang a beer and like talk about sport. Not everyone's into alcohol or sport, and then
Yeah.
in Ireland you find yourself a little bit on the back foot if you're not, in terms of say networking within your work. So a tea party, first of all, is really visitor, like everyone loves a cup of tea. Nearly everyone. The odd person who doesn't like hot drinks, you're just looking at them. But anyway, but and it's natural. It's much more natural than forcing people to gather. You know.
Mm.
So yeah, that's where the kind of the growth is coming in terms of the business really, and that's kind of where I'm just further developing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was just
when
going
you
to, sorry, I
guys
was just,
were-
oh, sorry, Howard, I was just following up from that. I just wondered with the social side of things, how much is spread sort of via social word of mouth? So people that come, they may do a Snapchat, they may do a video. How do you rely on that in some ways to sort of spread the word of what the events are all about? Because obviously people looking in at it is quite a visual spectacle. You know, I guess you've got all the pretty teacups and all the decoration and the fantastic cakes and everything. So it's a very visual medium. How much kind of the social word of mouth spreads out from the people who actually attend the events you do?
Oh, it's been huge, Trevor. It has, and the first year was definitely all. I like to call it organic growth, but it was all that kind of like word of mouth referral and stuff. And like I've had people. I had one guy that was at 3 events in like 4 weeks,
Right.
and he just, whatever circle he was moving in. But it was so funny because he was guy as well. And he kept on approaching me, going, "So I'm back again, and what teas have you got for us this time? And do you remember you made us drink that tea without any milk in it?" And it was just so funny. But so a lot of that, and like even with the company stuff now, when I go into do an event in a company, like recently, I did a big pharmaceutical event, and I was asked by the other employees, "Can I have a card? We got a card, and I have a baby shower coming up. I have a this coming up." So it's kind of it's definitely, I definitely rely on actual social, whether it's social media or people being social.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
spreading.
It's a very much more kind of relaxed environment. I mean, in my old days, I was invited to quite a few sort of corporate dues. You know, you go for the golf day or go for the day of the races or whatever it is. And I found that quite tedious because it's just the same old thing time out. And I don't play golf, so it was a bit tedious getting invited to go to play golf, and I didn't play golf. And I was over in Ireland about this time last year, and I arranged an afternoon. I didn't use your services because I wasn't aware of them, but I arranged an afternoon tea to meet lots of people for a social networking gathering. And the effect of that meeting was phenomenal because it was that bit different, and it was more comfortable, it was more relaxed. And for the people that don't drink a lot, alcoholic-wise, it was great that they could enjoy a cup of tea and a fantastic cake and that relaxed environment, and it very productive. Got good results from it. So I think what you're doing is fantastic, and the fact you can move about and you haven't got like a fixed tea room, if you like. You're sort of more mobile. Makes it a very unique selling point you've got there, doesn't it?
Yeah, thank you. And you're right. When people are relaxed, they're going to open up more. And, so you're going to get, like, if networking is about relationships, and all say it is, but if we really believe it is, then you're not going to develop relationships unless you're in a relaxed environment and you're relaxed yourself and chatting. And if you don't mind me saying, and I'm not getting all feminist on the issue, but when you were invited to your golfing event, and I know you don't like golf, right? I doubt there was very many women that were invited to golfing events to network. And so I think a tea party is a good leveler. It's not male or female, and it's not specific either.
Yeah.
It's universal in its appeal. So I don't think it isolates anybody who's maybe not into sport or not into alcohol. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That works well. Howard.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. So, Melissa, what you would be doing really is pushing your social events using social media.
Yes, I would. Well, pushing the service, not really the event. Pushing the service with social media. I use for, say, the core client base, which would be the ones for the special occasions. I use a Facebook business page, I have Instagram, and I'm on Twitter. And then for the more corporate stuff, I work on LinkedIn, the LinkedIn platform. So, yeah, I'm not saying I'm amazing on any of them, but I'm on them.
But you're good. And of course, as you were saying earlier, you've got the digital word of mouth now as well.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, got a bit of a time delay. So, knowing you, Melissa, can you just tell us? I mean, you're reinvesting in your business, and you don't do mugs of tea. I'm presuming it's not like that. You would lay on a service as such.
It's fine bone china. It's fine bone vintage china, Howard. So no, it's not mugs at all. Yeah. With nice saucers. Yeah.
And that's it. And then sandwiches and accompanying food.
So, it's all your, like, it is as if you were to go to the Shelburne. It's your 3-tier, but we use fine bone vintage china just because I like the style of the vintage china. I like the vintage style, a bit vintage, a bit shabby chic, but we do theming as well. But yeah, it's your finger sandwiches, it's your scones with jam and cream, it's all your cakes, it's your teas, your loose leaf teas, all the different ones and stuff. So yeah, and then it's all the styling and stuff as well.
And you're saying you do themed?
Yeah, we're doing more and more. It's really funny the way things are going. I'm being taken on board in a more kind of consultancy role for some companies. But yeah, we do. Just recently did a Mad Hatter themed event for a pharmaceutical company, and it was just a lot of fun. And we incorporated the colors of the company into the event for a bit of color branding as well. So yeah, just playing around with kind of ideas and themes and stuff.
Brilliant. So how can people get in touch with you, Melissa?
They can give me a ring on 086 212 7901. But that's a bit retro. People don't like to use the phone anymore. So you can email me at melissa@socialbee.ie or the website socialbee.ie, and there's like a wee form there that you can get in touch. So for chat.
For chat, people can see either on their mobile or on their desktop the images of previous work that you've done.
Oh, they totally can. Yeah, on their phones on the way to work in the morning. Obviously not if you're driving, only if you're on public transport.
So what would you say has been one of the most productive social media tips that you've learned?
Do you know what? And I go through phases of being really good now with the social media, lads. I do. But I'll tell you, I went to Greg. There's a lot of people that do social media workshops and stuff. I don't go to them, but I happen to go to one by Greg Fry, and he made a very good point, because I used to think that because social media is all it's kind of cool and casual and stuff. I used to be like, oh, it's all supposed to be spontaneous and organic, and just as it comes into your head and everything, you know, and like who plans social media? Actually, like the good people plan social media. And he gave an analogy of like, he said, do you read the paper? And I said, the weekend paper. And he said, so how would you feel? He said, if every weekend when you got the weekend paper, all the sections were all over the place in like disorder, in different order every time. And I was like, geez, that's in my head in. And he said, and so it is with your social media. He said, like your followers, you know, and it made such sense to me. And it also makes it easier when you're scheduling your social media if you have a kind of an order to what you put out and when and that kind of stuff. And so that was a really good tip, and I did it, and then I fall off the wagon with it and I forget to do it. But the intention is to do that. That was, yeah, that made sense to me.
In an ideal world. Well, look, Melissa, thank you very much for joining this evening on ESTV. We wish you all the best going forward. You never know, we might run into you at one of the tea parties that you're doing.
Cool. Thanks a million, guys.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks very much. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. There we go.
Well, Trevor, Melissa Curley there from socialbee.ie.
Yeah.
Just tying in nicely with what we were saying about, look, if you're enjoying something, if you go out to enjoy something, maybe take one picture or take one video.
Yeah.
But absolutely be present, consume the moment.
Yeah, I think that's it's the memory I had of the afternoon tea, which I know I tried to invite you, but things didn't quite work out. One day we will meet. But it did have such a profound effect on the occasion. You know, the location was right, the china, the cakes were phenomenal, you know, and I'm sitting here tonight getting quite peckish when she's talking about all the different things she's doing. But it was that old one again, and maybe we can talk about it another week. It's that if you want to be different, stand out from the crowd, you know, be different, and you will stand out from the crowd. You know, it wasn't, oh, well, let's just go and watch the football or the rugby or go and play golf. And this was something when I was in corporate world, in my purchasing role, I was invited here, there and everywhere. And people are horrified at the events I've turned down. I was invited to go and watch like football matches at Wembley when Euro whatever matches were on in the world, and I'm like, I don't watch football. People say, what, you turned down? I said, look, I've had invites to the golf, the cricket, the football, the Grand Prix. There's only so many times I can go out and do a social event, and it's the same old, after a while it becomes the same old stuff. Oh, just another golf day, another golf day, another golf day. So when you say, well, hang on, we can have an afternoon tea with all this fine china and delicious food and a different environment, you think, wow, that's different. Yes, I can take my wife. She'll enjoy that because she doesn't like watching football. You know, so it changes the dynamic. And in the corporate world, people are always looking to be that bit different and not just do the next football match or the next rugby match. You know, okay, have them in the mix. But it gets a bit monotonous and it gets a bit the samey and it gets a bit stale. So I think it's a great way to be that bit different. And it worked for me last year. So it's obviously working for Socialbee as well.
If you're into inclusion, again, we're talking about awareness this week. You know, be aware of your environment, be aware of options, and don't just go for the autopilot. Why don't we do this God to the exclusion of other people?
Right, indeed. I think it's time. I think it's that time of the evening where our third guy would now read out our contact details.
It is, yes. You can get us on Effectifying Social. You can get us on Twitter at EffectifySoc, Effectify SOC. You can get us on Facebook at Effectifying Social, and also on you know what? You can get us on our website straight there, effectifying.social, and look, we have a live event coming up on the 26th of Sunday, the 26th of March. It is unlike anything that's going on out there at the moment. We are taking big corporate training that is used to increase the win ratio on deals. It's going to absolutely pump up your business. It's a new way of looking at business that's coming. It's on the crest of the wave at the moment right now. And we're bringing it to you Sunday the 26th in the Central Hotel in Dublin. And Trevor, you coming over from the UK for that?
I'm flying over from the UK, yeah. I think people are getting 3 for the price of 1 at the deal we're offering it at. So a deal not to be repeated, I think, isn't it? 99 of your finest euros, is it? I think.
€99, yeah,
Yep.
that's including VAT.
Yep.
Including VAT. So 99 for the 3 of us, 4 to 1K, 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Again, details on our website, effectifying.social, or our Facebook, Effectifying Social, or on Twitter, Effectifying Soc.
Yeah.
And so that's it from me.
And I guess that's it from me. Until next week, be effective.